Imagine opening your bank statement and realizing Hamilton stole $200,000 from your house without asking. That's not a market update. That's your family's future bleeding out on the economic floor. 3 years ago, Hamilton was sold as the dream. Detached homes smashing past $1 million, condos flying off the shelf, lineups down the street at open houses, bidding wars that felt like gladiator fights. Today, that dream is a nightmare. Detached homes that sold for $1 million plus in 2021, now trading for mid 800s. That's 200 grand gone. Condos that went for 650, this year I've seen them close in the mid 400s. A $200,000 haircut. What happens when families who stretch the absolute max finally crack? I've seen it already. One client bought in 2021 for 1.1 million. Best offer this year, 775 grand. That's a $325,000 crash landing. Another paid 600 grand, dropped 100K into renos, couldn't get an offer at 600. That's not a home, that's a wealth shredder. And here's the kicker. These aren't investor losses, these are Hamilton families, ordinary people, teachers, nurses, trades, people who thought buy and hold was a plan. Now they're holding a live grenade with the pin half pulled. Thanksgiving's just around the corner. In this market, it's about to get carved up like a turkey. Wait too long and you could be next on the table. Smart sellers are getting up to $25,000 or more in cashback incentives, actually recovering equity that they've already lost. If you're ready now, it's linked below. Otherwise, keep watching and I'll break it down. Your home is not safe. It's a ticking time bomb. And it's not just prices, it's the process collapsing. Homes rotting on the mountain for 90, 120 days. Closings falling apart at the lawyer's desk. Buyers walking away from deposits because the bank pulled financing last minute. And realtors still selling the same dream. List high, we'll get it. They don't care about your equity. They care about their sign on your lawn. That's not selling houses, that's selling fantasy. And buyers, they don't believe in it anymore. 2021 was chaos. Lineups, bidding wars, 100K over ask. Now you're lucky if people even show up for your Sunday open house. Hamilton isn't a balanced market. It's a wealth machine turned into a wealth trap. Here's the loop. What happens when peak buyers, the ones who stretch credit to the edge, finally give up? When the flood of must-sell listings hits, not from investors, but from families with no way out. That's when prices don't slip, they collapse. Hamilton homeowners, if you're watching this, hear me now. Every day you wait is another $1,000 gone from your equity. Every month is another family listing in desperation, dragging your price down with them. If you're even thinking about selling, reach out before you bleed another 6 figures and claim your 100% commission rebate, because only a handful of Hamilton homeowners will get out before the flood of desperate listings hits. And if you think your home value is collapsing, wait until you see what's happening in Hamilton's bills, because utilities have turned into second mortgages. Hamilton homeowners, when did your hydro bill start feeling like a mortgage payment? $200, $300, $400 in a bigger house. Add Enbridge gas in the winter, $300, $400, sometimes $5. City water and sewer, another $150 to $200. Add it all up, $7, $9, sometimes $1,000, just to keep the lights on, the taps running, and the furnace alive. What happens when utilities eat the same money you used to spend on your mortgage? Families start triaging survival. Hydro first, nobody lives in the dark. Gas second, because you don't survive Hamilton winter without heat. Water third, taps have to run. And everything else, that's where the collapse begins. Mortgages skipped, credit cards skipped, car payments skipped, insurance skipped, and that's why Hamilton delinquencies are rising. That's why banks are quietly bracing for defaults. That's why I've seen deals die days before closing. Families simply can't stretch anymore. These aren't utilities anymore, they're survival. Retired couple in Dundas never imagined draining their RRSPs just to cover the gas bill. Single mom in the East End, hydro and water took her paycheck before the mortgage was even due. A young couple from Waterdown, 2 incomes, but after utilities, groceries, and taxes, they're living on plastic. This isn't collapse hiding in plain sight. It's not in charts, not in headlines, but in your mailbox. And here's the real killer. What happens next year when the city hikes taxes again, when another wave of mortgage renewals slams in at double the payment, when credit lines max out and there's no oxygen left? Because utilities don't go down, taxes don't go down, and once the mortgage falls behind, homes don't hit the market by choice. They hit by desperation. Hamilton's hydro bills are the new foreclosure notice. This isn't coming, it's already here. And if you're juggling bills now, how long before you drop one you can't afford to drop? If you felt your utilities climb like a second mortgage this year, type yes in the comments, because I promise you, you're not alone. If you're even thinking about escaping in this market, reach out now and find out how smart sellers are claiming up to 100% in cashback incentives when they sell. Only a handful of Hamilton homeowners will move before the flood of desperation listings hits the market and drags prices down. But if you think utilities are crushing, wait until you see what's happening to Hamilton's savings and jobs, because that's where the collapse turns from quiet to loud. It's not just your bills, it's not just your house, it's your savings, your future, your job security. Retirees who thought they were set, draining RRSPs just to cover property tax and hydro. Money meant for 20 years, gone in 2. Young families who stretch to buy, they're not homeowners, they're hostages. Payment poor, house poor, living in ticking time bombs, praying rates drop before the bank knocks. And middle-class professionals, 2 incomes, 6-figure households, still maxing out credit to buy groceries because utilities, groceries, and taxes ate the raise before it even hit the bank account. If half of Hamilton households are already behind on bills, what happens when the other half tips over? That's when the collapse stops being quiet. That's when it gets loud. That's when the for sale signs flood the streets. That's when must sell drowns out just listed. And here's the cruel twist. Every layoff is a foreclosure in disguise. The stock market cheers when companies cut jobs. Hamilton doesn't, because every lost job is another family that can't pay, another for sale sign, another home dumped onto the market at fire sale prices. This isn't resilience, it's ruin in slow motion. And don't be fooled by the headlines. RAB still calls this a balanced market. Politicians call it resilient, balanced. When families are losing 300 grand in equity, when retirees are going back to work just to keep the lights on, that's not balance, that's collapse. Hamilton isn't Toronto's affordable alternative anymore. It's Detroit with waterfalls, and it's showing everywhere. Vacant storefronts on King Street, restaurants half empty because no one can afford to eat out, encampments at Gage Park, families one step from losing everything. But behind closed doors, it's worse. Quiet desperation, missed payments, credit juggling, families living on borrowed time, hoping nobody notices until it's too late. If you're already juggling bills today, what happens when the next city tax hike lands? What happens when your mortgage renewal adds $800 a month to your payment? What happens when your savings account is empty and there's nothing left to drain? Survival mode isn't coming, we're already in it. The only question is, how long can you last? Hit like right now if you believe Hamilton families deserve better than survival mode, because this story isn't being told anywhere else. And if savings are gone and jobs are shaky, wait until you see the bigger picture, because the Hamilton dream isn't dying, it's already dead. Let's stop pretending. This city was sold as the next Toronto. Cheaper homes, short commute, waterfalls, and charm. The pitch is dead. What's left? Toronto prices strapped to Hamilton paychecks. Groceries at Toronto cost, utilities at Toronto cost, property taxes climbing faster than incomes, but incomes still flat, still stretched to the breaking point. If Hamilton can't compete with Toronto, who is it competing with? The brutal answer, Detroit. Because what's happening here isn't growth, it's rot. Vacant storefronts on King, encampments in parks, restaurants shutting their doors, not because the food costs too much, but because the customers are broke. Behind closed doors, families juggling debt, skipping payments, living on borrowed time. And yet the spin continues. Balanced, resilient, soft landing, wait until spring. How's it balanced when families bleed $200K in equity over the course of a couple of years? Resilient? How? When retirees cash out RSPs just to keep the furnace running. This isn't resilience, it's ruin. And here's the cruel reality. The collapse isn't coming, it's here. It's in your bank statement, it's in your hydro bill, it's in your for sale sign rotting into your front lawn. Hamilton dream isn't dying, it's already dead. And Hamilton homeowners aren't building wealth anymore, they're fighting not to get crushed. So the question isn't if the collapse hits you, it's when. Imagine 90 days from now, your renewal comes due. Your payment jumps $800 and you're already barely keeping the lights on. What's the play? Wait it out, hope buyers flood back in, hope spring saves you. Hope isn't a plan. Waiting isn't protection, and every day you hold, your equity bleeds. 2 options. Option 1, act now, protect what's left, or wait and the market takes it from you. If you prefer option 1, that's why I built my free seller survival guide. Inside, I break down the comps, the traps, and the lies, and how I give sellers up to $25,000 or more in cashback incentives when they sell. Nobody else is doing it because nobody else can, but I can and I do. Now click the link below to find out how and make a decision before the market makes it for you.